In this segment, we will be showing you how to change a tube that is popped. So as you can see, insert your tire lever on the inside of the bead and connect it to one of the spokes. Grab a second tire lever, which you should always have two to do this process in case it's difficult to get off. And then, starting where the other tire lever is, unseat the bead all the way around. Now you have that whole side of the tire disconnected from the rim. Turn the tire around and do the exact same process on the other side. Now, your tire and tube is completely disconnected from the rim. Find your valve. You're going to pull the tire and tube off. Lay that off to the side. Next, you want to look at what's called the rim strip, which runs all the way around the rim, and this protects the back ends of the spokes from puncturing your tube from inside. We will now show you how to install a new rim strip if your current rim strip is either broken or it's just not covering the spokes anymore like it should. I like to use a pick and start at the valve hole, get my finger underneath, and there. Now you can see what I was talking about, where all these back ends of the spoke, which when the tube is under pressure, could cause a puncture. Take your old rim strip off, grab your new one, locate the valve hole, and take your rim strip all the way around. I like to check to make sure that it is once again covering the spokes. Now we can take our new tube, and what I like to do is take the pump and put just a little bit of air in the tube. This makes it a little bit easier to pack the tube up inside the tire for installation. Now, before we reinstall everything, it's important to make sure that there aren't any objects still sticking inside your tire. Otherwise, as you pump up your tube, you will just end up getting a flat again and have to repeat the whole same process, and you'll have to buy another tube. So I like to feel around inside for anything sticking, poking, or rubbing. I haven't felt anything, so I think we're good to go. So now, take your tube, being mindful of where the valve is, and I usually like to align wherever the valve is with the brand name on your tire, if it has one. Then, I'm going to take the tube and pack it up inside the tire. There. Now, you're ready to take your rim, find the valve hole. In this case, we also want to look at tire rotation, and that is also located on the sidewall of the tire. there's usually an arrow pointing the rotational direction. This tire also has a design that makes an arrow. So that also implies that the wheel direction spins this way. Being that the quick release is always on the right side, we want to make sure that's turned around. Once again, finding our valve and our valve hole on our rim, we want to put the valve through the hole. Pull it through until enough of it is showing where you can get the pump head on. Take your bead on one side, starting at the valve hole, and walk it around till it's on. Then we need to do the same to the other side. Both sides of the bead are on the rim. Connect your pump head to the valve and inflate to the proper pressure located on the range on the sidewall. But first, I like to get it up to about 20 psi to make sure that everything is seated properly and we're not going to have any issues when we inflate further. Quickly disconnect the pump head. And what we want to do is there's a thin line that goes around the tire. So this side looks like it's all seated properly. And you'll know if it's not seated properly if part of the bead is hanging over or that line isn't even all the way around. Doing the same on the other side. Everything looks to be pretty good. Once again, making sure our valve is straight. Going to grab our pump once more, and now you can inflate to the proper pressure. In this case, it is 30 to 60 psi. I'm going to take it to about 40 for the riding that I'm doing. So now, when your pump's needle rests at 40, you're at the proper psi. Now we can disconnect. And now, for the last step, we will screw on the dust cap. And now your wheel and fresh tube is ready to be installed on your bike